I spent 20 hours running around a randomized world finding items that are out of place and fighting bosses that aren't supposed to be there. My goal for this playthrough is not to beat the final boss, but to complete 7 randomized goals. This is the story of my journey to complete those goals. Hi peeps! Out of our 7 randomized goals, we have 2 goals completed, and today we are going to get it all done. How am I so confident, you might ask? Well, in the last episode, we spent 8 hours achieving nothing. So this time, I decided to call in some help from my mod team. NANI? The randomizer mod I used had this handy spoiler log, which has detailed information on where items can be found. Since reading this would ruin the whole point of the randomized goals I made, I asked my mods to read the log for me and give me the hints. Otherwise, we'd be running around like a headless chicken, hoping to find the items until I've scoured the entire lands between. 1 week later. After the second stream, I was a lot tougher and my equipment had improved quite a bit. With some light hints to move us towards the goal items, I have a much better chance to actually gather the randomized goal items. First, a little prayer to RNGs for a lucky stream. Now for our first hint, go find a church. Seemingly inhibited from making any progress, maybe you should try praying for some help. Maybe even shed a tear to make it seem like you mean it. Sounds like this hint is telling us that we need to find an item in the church, and it was originally a tier item. First up, the Kalu Baptismal Church. Oops, oh no, nothing here. Next up, Church of Vows. There wasn't even any items here, not sure why I came back this way. Then I ran over to the Rose Church, also nothing here. I decided to head towards the Church of Inhibition. I haven't got a site of grace nearby, so I have to make a little journey past the Eye of Sauron in the sky. I went to the converted Ringed Tower by accident, so I had to turn around and head the other way. I pass by a cemetery along the way and grab everything I can find. The land octopus makes that pretty difficult though, and by complete luck, I found Malekith's armor inside one of the stone coffins. Hey, Malekith's armor! Nice! Found something! That wasn't the item we were going for since it wasn't at a church, but I'm so happy we found a goal item either way. It's our first bit of progress since we slew the Mimic Tier, and that was about 10 hours ago. With so many deaths, maybe the armor is with your dead bodies. So plentiful are they, you probably aren't buried properly. Some golden runes accompany you in your vessel to the other side. That was the hint my mods were going to give me for Malekith's armor. Thankfully I found it without the hint, because I'd have thought it was on a random corpse somewhere on a pile, and not in a cemetery with that hint. I get close to the Church of Inhibition, when my horse disappears on me, and I get invaded by Eleonora, Violet Bloody Finger. The timing was bad because there was a T-Rex dog after me. Thankfully I make it to the church without dying and spin to win. I tried really hard to have a cool cinematic ending here, but she kept fending off my finishing blows. With Eleonora out of the way, we pick up the items on the ground and find Sluvis's potion. So exciting, we made some more progress. We're at 4 out of 7 goals complete now. Making progress feels so good. Next hint. Whilst your endless search continues, you might as well make a wish. Maybe you'll find more luck downstream. Put some elbow grease into your work, don't be lazy. Well, that's too bad, because I am lazy. Since it emphasizes well, it's probably underground because you take a well elevator to get underground. It also mentions downstream, so maybe it's related to Ainsel River, because there's an area in there called Ainsel River Downstream. After a short walk, I finally reached the downstream region of Ainsel River. This area was a pain to explore in the original game, but it's even worse in this randomized version. There are so many tough and annoying enemies. I try to avoid them all and grab everything I can, but it takes a few deaths to make it. Oh shoot, I'm out of healing. Ow. After grabbing everything I saw, I still didn't get a new goal item, so I figure maybe it's the boss item drop instead. So I run over and in the distance is a terrifying sight. It's Rykard, but I haven't got the Serpent Hunter yet. Thankfully, the randomizer mod just gives it to you when the fight starts. With great effort, I managed to equip it while avoiding death, although not long after, Rykard still wipes me out. Wait, I died? No! The second try goes much better though, and I end up using the wind-piercing stabs of the Serpent Hunter to great effect. After a slow fight, the roar chest only contains some magic grease. Magic grease? Oh my god, so pathetic. Just some crappy item. At this point, I'm fairly certain that it's the 1 or 2 items lying at the top of the cliffs in the downstream area. In order to get up there, I actually have to go through several of the underground regions in order to reach the upper regions of Ainsel River. The first of these regions being Siofra River, so I head on over there. Apparently there's also another item in this region, and the hint is, the mist cloud but show the path you would take. One of your dead bodies is found to wash up on some riverbank. You probably let some runes wash away with this body of yours as well. It's probably on some random corpse and replaced the golden rune item, so that's gotta be one of the most generic locations an item could be found in Elden Ring. So I rode around on Yaki, picking up everything I could find. I get pretty lucky and it only takes a few minutes to find what I'm looking for. The Briars of Punishment. It won't be long now, only 2 more goal items to go. But since I've got to make it past some of the harder regions of Elden Ring in order to reach the next items, I decide it's time to upgrade my trusty Banished Knight's halberd that I've been using for quite some time now. The spin to win move has really won me over with how much fun it is to use, and the rest of the moveset is pretty good too. I warp back to the Table of Round and get ambushed by Ensha of the Royal Remains, who is easily taken care of by spinning to win. That's right. Get out of here. After successfully thwarting Ensha's attempt on my life, I head over to Hugh and upgrade my halberd to the max. The last hint that we haven't heard yet is, your eternal search continues, but at least you aren't paying city rent, cratering your funds. Although, the city is not without treasures, albeit legendarily guarded. This probably means the eternal city of Nokron. So in order to get to Nokron, we have to fight Radahn and make a comet crash to open up a hole in the ground. We then jump down to reach Nokron. What this means is we get to do the super fun Radahn fight! Or at least, fight whoever takes over his boss arena. With a plus 25 halberd, I think we'll be okay. So I teleport into the arena, and a boss bar shows up. Star Scourge Godfrey. He's a tough boss, but with my many allies, I think we'll be okay. I do my part by spinning to win, while everybody else wails away at him. Before long, he's done for. We got Radahn's Great Rune, the unalloyed gold needle, and a golden seed. That's not the important part. The comet has crashed, and we can go to Nokron. I warp over to a nearby grace and start jumping down the newly minted hole. There's a few items along the way down, so I grab them and wow, look, it's the Assassin's Crimson Dagger. I wasn't expecting to find that so quickly. We haven't even really gotten into Nokron proper yet. This doesn't change our path though. We've still got to get through Nokron in order to reach the cliff where I think the last goal item sits. I work my way through the eternal city of Nokron and make it to where the Mimic Tier normally sits. Let's see what boss awaits us. It's the Mimic Elden Beast. It's pretty funny that the final boss is blocking our way to the last goal item. It's poetic in a way. I spin to win for a bunch of great damage, even getting off a critical. But the Elden Beast shoots down some holy laser beams, and I get vaporized. The next attempt goes pretty well, but then it does the holy laser move again. I nearly get vaporized again, but hang on by the thread. And then, the Elden Beast throws out the Elden Stars move. Even though they look so pretty, these homing missiles can quickly chip away all your health. And then, it starts preparing to do the holy laser move again, but the beast is so close to death, I can taste it, so I agreed. Killed him! That's right, you don't get to try that again! Get out of here! With the Elden Beast dead, nothing is stopping me from hopping onto Yaki and making my way through the Gardens of Nokron and over to the Siofra Aqueduct. I run through the aqueducts and realize there's still a boss in my way. We find Valiant Astel here, instead of the usual 2 Valiant Gargoyles. Upon making contact, it proceeds to use gravity magic to slam me down and then cause a void explosion which destroys my health bar. Being more careful this time of its gravity magic, I do spins to win in bursts so I don't get caught up in one of its gravity attacks. His attacks are so powerful that it causes a void quake and wipes out all of my demi-humans in a single attack. With some luck on my side though, I managed to smash my halberd into its skull enough times to get a victory. There we go. Finished him off. That's right. Legend fell. Now we can take a coffin off the waterfall to reach the Deeproot Depths. Here, we just need to run over to another coffin, which will take off another waterfall to reach Ainsel River main. The remembrance of the Star Scourge is found just lying in a pile of bones. Finally, I reach the cliffs with the last goal item, and after a troublesome jump up, turns out they were cases. At least there's a treasure chest still to check on top of the ruins. Open sesame! And it's 2 nomadic warrior cookbooks. Do I really have to check if I missed an item down there? Don't tell me, I'm actually just blind and I missed an item in the Ainsel River downstream area. So I look over the area with my new high vantage point and discover there's an item I missed. So I head down there, pick it up, and it truly is my last goal item, the Night Rider Glaive. After such an epic journey here, it turns out I didn't even need to take that epic journey at all. At least I had a few fun and exciting boss fights to make the journey to the finish line that much more interesting. What a crazy randomizer run of Elden Ring, full of twists and turns I would have never expected. I hope you enjoyed this story. I had a blast doing the challenge and making this video. Let me know if this kind of storytelling is something you'd like to see more of and I'll make it happen. Thanks for watching, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!